Tonight could become one of the most difficult nights of Donald Trump's political career. Not only because of the criticism surrounding his foreign policy, but also because multiple high-profile plans appear to be falling apart at the same time. Critics argue that his negotiations with Iran have failed, damaging his image as a strong negotiator and deal-maker. At the same time, his highly publicized birthday celebration is already facing delays due to bad weather, with some even questioning whether the event can continue at all. The irony, according to opponents, is that while Trump wanted a night filled with celebration and attention, the headlines are instead being dominated by controversy, setbacks, and growing public criticism. What was meant to be a showcase of power and popularity is now, for many observers, turning into another example of a major announcement backfiring. Donald Trump first wrote on Truth Social, "The deal with the quite frankly Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz. Simultaneously, herewith authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade." Trump then followed that up by writing, "This great deal will bring peace and security to the whole region." Many presidents have tried to make peace with Iran, and all have failed before me. The leaders of the region have for the first time found a president who can help them achieve peace with the opening of the Strait of Hormuz when the deal signed on Friday. So, not immediately, the world will see oil flow again. Aaron Rupar, the journalist and our friend of the show, pointed out that Donald Trump went from opening the Strait of Hormuz apparently to then, saying it had to wait till Friday. And this was funny considering what Pete Hegseth said this morning.
By the way, I think your viewers need to remember, Project Freedom never stopped, and we've run 125 million barrels of oil through the straits, and Iran couldn't do anything about it. Yeah. How many ships from Iran have transited our blockade? Zero. We have controlled the straits this entire time.
Right, but you're going to negotiate with them to
immediately and gradually.
Reopen it. So
the Strait of Hormuz has, in the minds of MAGA, simultaneously always been open, but also has just been opened by Donald Trump right now in this instant, but also is going to be open Friday. And that's the big deal. And that's the big victory. Even though we had that before, MAGA is really going to have to work to set their narrative straight in terms of what the big success of Donald Trump killing 13 Americans, thousands of innocents abroad, creating an economic and energy catastrophe, and losing us hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't know what we got out of this. Does anyone ever really know what we get out of the Trump presidency besides the Trump mob boss family, like profiting off of our tax dollars? Nobody does. And that is why No Kings protests are happening across the country, specifically a great one in D.C. And we saw a little snippet of that right here. It's part of the reason that his party's getting delayed.
Whose lawn? Our lawn. Whose house? Our house. 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 Whose lawn? Our lawn.
I am really glad to see people out protesting Donald Trump making their voices heard. Our friends over at Midas Touch right now are streaming an event that Jane Fonda is holding in New York City right now. There are protests across the country. I am hoping those folks don't get soaked or struck by lightning. But struck by lightning? Let's talk about that. Donald Trump decided that he would erect his, fake metal UFC penis in the middle of the South Lawn to make himself feel a little bit better about his small situation down there, which I'm sure is covered by his gut. And how has it gone? Poorly. It has gone poorly because it is a weather hazard. It is an eyesore hazard. And it's leading Donald Trump to have to already, before it has even begun, delay the start of his big birthday party. It's already blown up in his face. It's already backfired. It's so funny. UFC calls for freedom, 250 delay due to looming thunderstorms. And ladies and gentlemen, I can promise you, if they're delaying, they're canceling. This was never just a simple delay. It shaped his approach to major issues like Iran, where promises of quick victories, strong-arm tactics, and easy deals have repeatedly failed to deliver the results he promised. According to those critics, this pattern of believing he can force outcomes through pressure and grand gestures continues to create problems rather than solve them. Why did BB have to effing attack? Trump rages at Netanyahu over Israel strikes on Beirut, says he's so pissed off. Donald Trump said he was pissed off at Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over Israel strikes on Beirut Sunday. In an interview with Axios on Sunday, the president lashed out at Netanyahu following the Israel strike on Hezbollah target on the outskirts of Beirut, a response to Hezbollah launching drones toward Galilee. Why did BB have to effing attack? Trump said, "I was so pissed off. I let him know he has no effing judgment. I let him know that." In a separate interview with Fox, Donald Trump called Netanyahu and said, "What the F are you doing?" The president told Axios that the signing of the peace deal with Iran was delayed as a result of Israeli strikes, but he said the deal remains on track. I doubt that. It shook it up, Trump said of Israel strikes. It delayed the signing by a few hours. It was supposed to be now. Now it is scheduled for a few hours from now. In an earlier Truth Social post, Donald Trump this morning wrote, "This morning's attack on Beirut should not have happened, particularly on a special day when we were so close to peace." Of course, Donald Trump chewed Netanyahu out a little bit, said that he was going to have a great deal. But let's actually talk about the truth of this all. Donald Trump says he's getting a deal, and J.D. Vance says he's going to sign the deal. But part of the deal is a contingency around Israel stopping its strikes and invasion of southern Lebanon. A thing they said that they are not going to do. The Israelis are not going to stop. That's what they do. They invade. They strike. They attack. They are the aggressors. They violate international law and they drag us into war. And so Donald Trump, with his fake tough guy talk to Netanyahu, has changed nothing. Israel still wants to continue to create chaos and kill in the Middle East. It's what it's always done and will continue to do unless America not only ends our parasitical relationship, but starts to levy sanctions and treat Israel like the terrorist state that it is. But as long as it doesn't, as long as Donald Trump gets little baby bitched around, nothing will change. The weakest president in American history. That is what Donald Trump is. Weak in all regards on his special day. And even his former buddy Tucker Carlson had exactly that to say.
And as of right now, Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. It did not when this war began. Now it does. And so what do we learn from this? Well, we learn that President Trump is not a great diplomat. He's overselling this like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet in Atlantic City. Oh, it's going to be the best. And so it's tempting to kind of lay all of the blame at Trump's feet. And on one level, it is all his fault. He decided to do this. Whatever pressures he faced, it was his decision. And he has oversold America's position in this. And he is, in some very real way, not good at this. But that would be to minimize the profound nature of this moment. What we're really learning is not simply that Trump is a spotty commander-in-chief and certainly no diplomat and obviously not a deal maker. If you announce a deal 38 times and it doesn't materialize, you're not a deal maker. What we're beginning to understand, unfortunately for the rest of us, are not just the limits of Trump, but the limits of American power.
Absolutely humiliating for Donald Trump. But even Tucker Carlson is calling him weak, and he is right. Tucker is right. Donald Trump is weak. Donald Trump is pathetic, and Donald Trump does get pushed around. He's not a diplomat. He's not a statesman. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's dumb, and his birthday is a disaster, and everybody can see it, and it'll end one of two ways. Canceled by the rain, which is going to happen, or of course with Donald Trump sleeping. And so we will be covering it all on this show tonight. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.